Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Doug.
And we're here to review Glass.
Yeah.
Yay, we just got back from watching Glass, so it's fresh in our head. As usual, we're going to go over to our non-spoiler review first, and then when you see the spoiler, we'll do a little 5-second countdown, and then we're going to jump into the spoiler review, because we like doing it all at once. We're lazy. We don't want to do two separate reviews of the same movie.
Yeah.
So, Glass, we've been anticipating this for a long time. We actually did a...
Does it hold up?
Does it hold up for
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable? You can check that out up here. And sorry, I'll stop pounding on the table because
Yes.
got the sensitive mic going right now.
Yeah.
All right, Kirsten.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I don't know if it was as good as Unbreakable or Split, or sorry, better than Unbreakable or Split, but I think it was as good as. It was really good. I liked
Really
it.
good. Okay, Doug, what about you?
Well, it's good. Let me start that. It's good.
Probably feel the same way I do.
I said for Unbreakable that Unbreakable is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite is true of Glass.
Right.
The parts are greater than the sum of the whole. There's lots of cool things but when you put it all together, I was kind of like, it was a good movie, but I'm not sure I'm satisfied with the whole.
Does it deserve more than its 35% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, way more.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that I don't know what the critics had a problem with. In fact, I'm surprised that. I mean, the parts that I probably had the biggest problem with, I would have assumed critics would be all like, "Wow, that's great," blah,
Right.
blah, blah, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a matter of I don't think it was as good as either Split or Unbreakable, which is sad. This third one's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not your Return of the Jedi. This is not gonna. You're not.
Right.
But then again, you look at the movies these are based on, right? These are not big spectacle movies. We've always said that.
Right. Yeah.
So this is not a big spectacle movie. A lot of people might have been, it's a big superhero fight movie.
Yeah. No.
Not really. And in fact, the title character kind of is not in it a whole lot. I would say, and you might, I don't know, people are saying this or not.
Time-wise, he probably gets as much screen time as either of the other two. They are just far more in your face than he is.
I think the Beast has a lot more, well, not necessarily the Beast, but the character. I think he has a lot more screen time.
Yeah.
And a lot more, I mean, I don't know. The way I got it. I mean, but out of the three, I think we can all agree that David Dunn got the shaft as far as story arc and screen time. Clearly this is a bad guy's movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was worried about it being, like Glass being the title of the movie, whether or not, especially like 2/3 of the way through the movie, I'm like, wow, is he going to get his due? He does. This is the reason why this is titled Glass.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I don't know how I feel, and I'm not sure how I feel about the ending. So we'll move on to that. First off, Kristen, what do you like about this movie?
With the ending being the way that it is, I'm satisfied with how it ended.
Okay.
I just feel like it wrapped up things in a very unique way, and may not have been what I wanted it to be, but I was happy with how it ended. So very good.
All right.
Showcased each of the characters and their interactions were exactly what I wanted them to be. So
Nice. What was a standout for you, Doug? Their performance
James
is there.
McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah,
as
he is the standout
character.
actor here.
I mean, I do like what Glass gets to do. He does spend a lot of the movie, in like, I guess, scamming everybody.
Without getting into spoilers, but yeah,
so I like what he does and what goes on there. But James McAvoy is the standout. He's amazing in that role.
Yes.
So,
which is odd because Doug has not seen Split. So
not.
that's
I kind of got the the gist of what was going on, but I know it's not my type of movie. But I really enjoyed his performance. I did have. Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
As far as some of the spoilers.
Some of the issues here. I too like the performances here. Even Bruce Willis, who's been kind of wooden in a lot of these later movies.
Yeah.
He gets called out for phoning it in a lot of times. A lot of his recent roles now that he's older, but even he brought it. You know, you could tell that this is a character he likes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like one of the things I like about this movie is that they brought back all the original actors from Unbreakable.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they got his son is the original actor, but his
Right.
son is in there.
Yeah.
Even the comic book store owner is the same.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
notice.
I wouldn't have known that if we hadn't watched Unbreakable recently.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, they started talking. I'm like, that's him. That's the same comic book guy.
It is funny. He's like, "What are you doing back there?"
Yeah.
Just like he
Yeah.
did to Samuel L.
Yep.
Jackson. So.
I think it was the same exact line too.
Yeah.
You were those Hello Kitty perverts. or something
Yeah.
like that.
So yeah, it's they brought that, and even M Night, his cameo is the same character he played
Yeah.
in Unbreakable. So
That kind of fell flat for me, though. I didn't like that callback in that he specifically referenced that. Oh yeah, the stadium. I remember you. It's like, yeah, it's been 15 years, dude. Do you
yeah,
really
like, you really remember that guy?
a random security guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had to mention that he got straight.
Yeah.
I cast myself as a drug dealing scumbag in the first movie, and I want a cameo in this one, so I've gone straight.
I mean, to be fair, it's not that too far to believe that maybe
Not in
like that
Slumlord.
guy scared the crap out of him. He was like,
Yeah,
never
sure.
doing that ever again.
Yeah.
And then,
Maybe, yeah, I know, but I like the fact that they're all playing the same characters, right? And they brought
That
all
is.
the actors back.
Right.
Yeah, what is something without any spoilers? What's something you didn't like about it?
something I didn't like. You know, the only thing that I really didn't like was the ending.
The ending?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Doug?
Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, that was a little annoying. Yeah.
It was, yeah. The girl just was like, "You're a little too forgiving for this mass murderer,
Yeah.
serial killer."
Well, without having
I
to
don't-
split.
I
you
don't
gotta-
care what kind of connection you've made to somebody in the, like, oh, I'm in this terrible situation.
Yeah.
He still killed 3 of your friends and all kinds of other people since.
Well, they weren't really your friends.
Well, whatever. Your peers.
To be fair. Well, and here's the thing, and you got to realize, you've seen Split. Kevin is as much a victim as the rest. He's the main person, right?
Right, yeah.
And then the other personalities kind of take over, right? So he's kind of retreated back, and he doesn't, he's kind of a victim of the beast as much as anybody else. So she forms that connection with him because of their pain in the past.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that she liked the beast or anything like that, other than the beast realized that she was broken or whatever and split and spared her. But yeah, I mean,
It was just over the top in this. I was just like, I
don't
can't
think I
believe
would.
that.
If I was her, I don't think I would go back to see him.
Yeah.
Like even if they form that connection in Split, right?
Yeah.
Having survived that,
Yeah.
I don't think I would be like, oh, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna go seek him out and
Yeah.
talk to him, and
Yeah.
then get then,
Well, he needed his,
that
his other, his I don't know what you call it, not the sidekick, but the other. Everyone, Elijah had his mom.
yeah,
Had his son. David Dunn had his son.
Mhm.
So
Right,
the Beast
yeah.
had to have Anna Taylor-Joy's character. But
I mean, she did fine in the role. I don't
Yeah,
want
nothing
to
wrong
criticize
with the
her.
acting
Yeah.
or
I
anything
just
like
didn't buy
that. Her role.
the role.
right.
She did fine in the role. I just didn't buy the role.
Right. I kind of agree with the end. The reveal at the end, I don't kind of.
Well, yeah, I think that again. That's spoilers. I don't want to get too.
When I
much
get into that, I
it.
think was my problem with the movie. I think again the ending, not necessarily the if you can call it a twist, not necessarily a twist, but the
Yeah, like you said, the reveal.
reveal.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into spoil. I don't like Kirsten. I don't mind the end itself.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they got there.
I do mind. Yeah, how they got there, and you're just like, really?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, once we get into spoilers, we can talk more in depth on that.
Right. So overall, we like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we tend to talk about every time we review a movie, we sound like we're shitting on it, but we always tend to reveal the parts we don't like about it because those stick with us, right? overall, it was an enjoyable movie. It doesn't deserve a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't think.
No.
It's a C plus B minus movie.
I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5.
And I think I'd go more like a 7.
I would
7?
go 7 as
Yeah.
well.
7. I'm gonna go 7.5 just because I waited 20 years for this movie,
Yeah.
and it was good. It was
19
worth it.
years to be exact.
Well, true, 19 years, but yeah, jeez, but it was good to see these characters again, right?
Yeah.
And to see where where their lives went.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was excited just for that. I'll give it a 7.5. So
Mm-hmm.
there you go, 7, 7.5, 6.5. I think we want to jump into spoilers now.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, let's talk. Let's spoil this movie. So, spoiler warning, guys. Here we go. If you've not seen Glass, go check it out, then come back and watch the rest of this. So, we're gonna start spoiling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
House of Cards ruined the movie.
House of Cards. Run.
What?
These were talking about they didn't get his wife back. They had to write Claire out of it.
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
I don't think her character would have added anything to the movie.
I just thought it was funny that it was just when she was introduced as that one cameo, it was just her back, and you don't hear her talk at all because it's very obvious that M. Night didn't have the budget to get her back in.
Well, not so. I don't think
and
she fit.
I think that was they spliced him into an old scene, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that was like a stand-in or anything like that. I think he took footage from the original movie and overlaid.
That's what he did with his son in the bedroom.
Yeah.
That was a scene for that got cut because clearly it was the kid.
Right.
Right. I will say this. Well, it didn't fit because there's a doctor. There's the three of them, and each one of them has a human connection. Like David Dunn has his son, Elijah has his mom, and the Beast has Anna Taylor-Joy's character. I can't remember her name. Casey.
Yeah, Casey.
Yeah. So they all have this human connection. Now, so there's a supernatural element. There's a human connection, and then there's a doctor. I don't think Claire would have thrown that balance off, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think she had a place in this.
When they revealed that she was dead, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect the story at all.
No.
Yeah.
She could have left when she found out that.
Yeah, I'm glad she did
really
leave. I kind of got the impression that might have been the case when he's like,
Yeah.
Claire, I need to tell you something, right?
Right.
And then we don't hear anything. Then we find out later she died. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's better than her leaving, but in my
Yeah. So,
I'm like,
I mean, it didn't influence the story.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So.
I will say the problem. Okay, well, we'll get to the ending here in a minute. But one of the issues I have with this movie is the whole end part of it revolved around the three human element characters basically getting together, and there was very little of that build up. It was like a lot of them passing each other in
Right.
in various times, but they never like met up till the end, and then at the end they're together in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it seemed a little forced for them for that relationship, right? Like if they did a little bit more to develop that, instead of having them like pass each other on the street or in a comic book store.
No, I see that more as Glass is doing.
He brought them together.
Because he says, the main characters have arrived. Or something like that.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
He calls them the main characters
Right.
in that scene, which brings it into, the main cast is here or something like that, he says.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he intentionally, sends them the stuff, and then I'm assuming has something like connect up.
Right, yeah.
Directing
Bringing them all
to connect
together.
up.
Yeah.
So I saw that as all his doing, so I was like, I was
Alright.
fine with that.
Actually, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I like that a lot better.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more
The
sense.
fact that I didn't even really register until afterwards that when he said they're the main cast.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't until you just said it just now, and I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
That's when he said it, is when they showed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's sitting out in his wheelchair right in front. He's like, the main cast is here, or
Yeah.
all the cast is here, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So he definitely thought of them as central to the story.
Sure.
Yeah. So this whole movie revolves around Elijah's plot,
Right.
thinking everybody.
Yeah.
He
To a crazy degree.
to a crazy degree.
Like,
Yeah.
not only did he outthink getting them out and everything like that, or that they were going to use this crazy machine on them, but he thought beyond that they would want to try and delete the videos and
Yeah.
got to them before they would be deleted.
Yeah. He wanted proof of supernatural in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
Never loses his faith.
Never loses his faith.
He's the only one.
My biggest problem was is that he was like, I'm like, oh, when I first see him, it looks like he's given up, right? And it's all an act. This is the greatest. Spoiler. There's a big reveal here. Yeah, he was all an act, and I was thinking for a long time, like, okay, he's given up, and then he's gonna get hope because he sees these guys and brings them around. I'm kind of, I didn't kind of like that. When I found out that, especially when it reveals how long he's been hoarding the drugs.
Oh, yeah.
When he lifted the arm up and it's like just arm full of drugs, I'm like, okay, for a while now, he's been fooling them and getting out.
Right.
Yeah. And just proving how, much of a genius he really is.
Right.
He even foils their brain surgery.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem for me was the whole secret society wasn't.
We hadn't got quite there, but
Right, we'll get to the secret society.
No, we might as well talk about it now because
that's the big reveal.
That's the big reveal. Is there's a secret society trying to hold the existence of and the emergence of superhumans
and villains.
Yeah, just superhumans in general down. They're trying to stop evolution. Apparently.
For 10,000 years, they said. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're referring to the fact that humans have been in their current form for 10,000 years. So it's been more confined that way. And now they've come together to make sure that.
But for a while, you get the impression that there's been superhumans throughout mankind, and there's been this secret society that's been.
Yeah, they never really give you much. Like, did the secret society form because he survived that train crash, or was?
I got the impression they were around for a while.
Yeah,
I don't. That's the problem. Is there's nothing to imply that at all.
Like in Unbreakable, Elijah, you could see that there's something darker behind him, but not. You don't know what it is exactly. You don't know if there's there's something more to him than just the fact that he found this guy that was a sole survivor. I don't know.
I got the impression, just the fact that they meet in groups, they're saying this has always been our ways to convince them otherwise or whatnot. I think some things they've said when they were at the big meeting all together a couple times that gave the impression, you're right, they didn't come out and say how long.
Well, remember, in universe, that society could have been formed 20 years ago. And nothing that she says implies that it's that you can go past that. That could everything she says could be that they've been around that amount of time and have encountered other people in that amount of time.
And not just that, this is within 5 to 10 minutes of the last film too, part of the film. So you don't.
That's the problem.
It's a big reveal at the end.
There's nothing implying that there's more to her or anything like that.
Right.
She's just there for most of the movie.
And I think the biggest problem we have, not so much that there's a secret society hunting superheroes or super powered people, but the fact that in order to get to that payoff, they try to keep it down, and Elijah ends up getting out thinking of her and blasting the proof of superheroes, superpowered people out to the world, right? So he wins in the end.
Right.
But the cost of that is that all three of our mains are killed in this movie. So that's the problem. I understand it, right?
Yeah.
And I understand them trying to put down the beast because that's going to be hard to contain.
Yeah.
I have a hate-love relationship with that ending.
It's one of those. Yeah.
I'm not. Here's my big problem is, we talked about this and does it hold up? I still have a problem with him having a weakness to water.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the fact that you need to breathe.
Right.
Why does it sap his strength? I mean, maybe she's right. It's psychological, just because Glass put that in his mind. Although that seems really silly. Yeah. So I really wanted him to power his way out at the end and go, that water doesn't affect me this way. Blah.
I feel like that kind of happened, though, because you know how fucking hard it is to move in water?
Sure.
No. I mean, at the end, where regular people are holding his face in a puddle, you're power your way out of that.
You're like, all right, he's fighting the beast. I'm like, well, as long as he's not fighting around a pool, what are the chances? Oh, there's a giant drum of water over there. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, he ends up in it. Yeah. But he breaks his way out of that. But the water fills a puddle. Yeah. And they drown him in a puddle. Yeah. Because he's weak.
That's the one I had the biggest problem with. The beast essentially kills Glass.
Yeah. And then the beast gets shot.
Fine.
Well, there's a special. Okay, not the beast. Kevin got shot.
Yeah.
Because the beast would have not got hurt by the bullet. He got took a shotgun blast, 2 of them.
Right. Well, here's the thing. The whole thing was this secret society finds these people and then tries to convince them that they're not superpowered, right? So they don't have to kill them. And if that doesn't work, then they kill them off, right?
Yep.
So we find out. So she starts going through, and at first, remember when we first saw the previews of this, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like a big switcheroo where they never had superpowers. Right, it was all in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
I had a big fear of that, and at first, then I'm like, no, because the Beast, he took 2 shotgun blasts to the chest, he bent steel bars, he walked on walls. There's no way they can explain that out. And then when she starts poking holes in all those things and making it sound plausible, I'm like, oh God. What's it?
You saw the reviews.
Yeah, I'm like...
To the point that one part of the Horde begins to believe it, too.
Yeah, part of the Horde starts doubting, yeah. And you're like, wow. I'm like, you saw the supernatural things he did, and you're like, okay, yeah, the David Dunn stuff can be explained away. Glass is just really smart, and that can be explained away.
No, here's the thing is, and he never brings this up, the David Dunn stuff can't be explained away. It's like, stab me then if you think I'm not
Well, that's the thing, it's never been proven like that, right? He was never, well, we don't know that from when we are. Everything we've seen him do in Unbreakable, you're like, because literally, he choked a big guy out, and he survived, he could have just been really lucky and survived that train crash.
He survived falls out of all kinds of, second floor,
that's true.
4th floor, so it's like,
that's true.
And just shrugs it off. So
that's true.
You're like, come on.
And it was cool that they made him, like, when him and the Beast are fighting to see how the Beast can't really hurt him, right? He's choking him, he's squishing him. Like, the Beast's big thing is he squeezes people and breaks their back.
Yeah.
And he couldn't break, he couldn't hurt, he's unbreakable.
Right.
So, I was like sitting there like, yeah, how is he going to beat him? He's just as strong. They proved he's just as strong as the Beast, only he can't be hurt. So it's
and I did like
cool.
that in the fight. He clearly had the upper hand on the Beast.
Yeah.
The Beast fought smart in areas, but he clearly had the upper hand until until Glass told him how to beat him.
Right.
That like water is his weakness.
Yeah.
Still,
and in this movie, well, not only is he, because when he's in water, he gets weak. Like he was in the pool, and
he gets weak if he gets sprayed with water.
Yeah.
That's true. They had nozzles of water to spray him in his cell if he got out of hand.
Yeah.
And
I guess that makes sense why he's got like that overcoat, because he's going in rain.
Yeah, he's got his costume is a rain slick.
Yeah.
I'd be invested in a wetsuit.
Yeah. Like scuba gear.
Scuba gear. Quick rebreather that you can flop on real quick. Why do you walk around with a rebreather?
Reasons.
Yeah. So, but
yeah,
that was a good movie. I liked the characters, the actors really brought it. I was disappointed in the initial. Well, not disappointed. It was awesome. The first showdown with David Dunn and the Beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it ended. They stopped it.
Yeah.
Like before it got really heated up.
Yeah.
We're going to actually see this showdown, and of course we did. They promised. Well, they kind of teased at a big, spectacular showdown, and then we're like, okay.
Very comical superhero type ending.
Yeah, the top of a building, the whole big showdown. Yeah. That never happened, and it was all part of the plan, which makes sense. Yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, we're going to have a big superhero showdown.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, this is so good to be true. This is too good to be true.
The top of a building with a chemical plant getting ready to blow up in the whole bit.
Waiting for, just get to the tower, get to the tower, get to the tower. Like, I don't care what's going on, get to the tower.
I feel like that was a little too much, though, if they did do that, though.
Yeah.
It would have been. It would have been over the top superhero stuff, and that's not what this movie is. This movie is grounded. This is when I talk about grounded superhero movies, this is completely what it would be like in real life if people had powers.
Yeah.
And they're not like crazy over the top like Superman powers.
Right.
Right? They're, just real life. Yeah. Like in real life. It's realistic. They're realistic. They're believable. You believe that these people can exist.
Like kick-ass type stuff until, he gets his rocket chip backpack thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this is number 3 of Shyamalan's comeback. Visit, Split, Glass. I think it's. I think, Again, this doesn't make up for Last Airbender, but I can start forgiving them for the happening at least.
What? No.
Yeah, I mean, it was a smart movie. It was a good movie. There were a few elements, and I don't even don't get me wrong. I don't even mind the idea of the secret society.
Mhm.
I just didn't like, much like Unbreakable in the beginning. There's even less foreshadowing of this organization being here at all.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You just think all you get is like, wow, are you serious, lady? Come
Right.
on, you could figure this out pretty easy. You could test this stuff.
Right.
Although, and you can then kind of rationalize, well, she's not going to test this because that
She
feeds
doesn't wanna
into their
prove it.
delusion.
Yeah, she doesn't
and
want to
stuff
prove
like
it there. Yeah,
Well,
because she go up and stab David Dunn and go like, all right, see? Oh, wow, it works. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're like, because, and the fact that she's part of this kind of explains away why she's trying to prove that they don't exist without doing any hardcore testing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, you could test. You
Right.
can lift heavy stuff. You can try and, try and hurt him in ways that are not necessarily, going to kill him,
Mhm.
right? And just work your way up. But as where the beast is, you can't really test that. This guy goes crazy.
Right, yeah.
Well,
Suddenly makes sense why she would want to get the laser onto,
yeah.
what's his face?
Well,
Yeah, you're
Glass,
like, that was one thing that went through my head. So maybe that is kind of the foreshadowing, quote unquote, is you're like, that sounds pretty unethical, shooting a laser
Right.
at dudes.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to mess with your frontal lobe.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do that anymore, do
This
they?
is like a modern.
Yeah, we're
lobotomy.
gonna lobotomize you with lasers.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense now when you're the big reveal that they're all
Yeah.
part of this
Yeah.
organization to keep down, superpowered people.
Right.
But if there's more implying that she had a darker thing behind her, like
Yeah.
like Elijah did in Unbreakable.
Well, and here's the other thing is,
Mm.
again, I wasn't paying attention to it, only one viewing, but it would be interesting to see if you ever see that tattoo before the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
clover
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, go back and
don't
take a
remember-
look.
I mean, because it was very obvious on the policeman.
Yeah.
Mm.
On the sniper.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's interesting, Mark.
Right.
And it wasn't like, at no point did I think, oh, he's got a weird tattoo.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, whoa, what does
I
that
saw
mean?
that and I was like, oh, that tattoo.
That tattoo means something.
Yes,
The
that's
fact
what
that
I
the
meant.
camera is focused on it, you're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. There was no point where I was just going, oh, that's just some random tattoo he's got.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's important.
Yeah.
So you would have thought that if that had shown up before, that you probably would have known, oh, what's that?
Right.
But I
True,
don't
that's true.
remember seeing anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there had been, that would have been an interesting little foreshadowing
Right.
that he
Yeah.
didn't do.
I really wish you'd have seen Split though, because I mean, we talk about McAvoy's performance,
Oh yeah.
right, and the way he could just switch between those characters.
Yeah.
Was even more so than he did in Split. Well, it was a lot more of it in Split, but
Yeah.
in this one, there was a scene where they're like flashing the lights, and it was a different personality that would come forward
Yeah.
every time. So he had to go in one scene,
Switch in an
and,
instant.
switch
That's
into switch personalities.
Crazy.
Yeah,
He did so well.
In this one or in
in this one, yeah.
In this one, yeah.
Was it flashing the lights?
It was very seamless, but there's no way that was filmed all in a row.
I don't know, man. It looked-
they were separate takes. 'Cause every time it was chunk, chunk, chunk,
True,
chunk.
yeah.
So there was definitely cuts
At
back
least,
and forth.
at least in the first part of it. At the second half of
There was one time
his
was full on.
Yes.
He was coming out there, and he actually the Flash, and he chained personalities at least 3 times.
For at least 30 seconds to a minute, there was just a full.
I mean, but there wasn't like full dialogue. There was like quick personality, and then he'd switch again.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, you're right. There was a big switch out, but man,
It was done
Yeah.
so
I-
well, though.
he
And-
did a great job.
and even not just his acting, but the physicality of it too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he make himself look different sizes.
Right.
Like when he's
Hunches in.
yeah.
When he's the kid, he hunches in.
yeah.
Um,
Because you look like a skinny little kid walking down the street when you bump into David Dunn.
yeah.
And then the same guy plays the Beast.
Right.
Yep.
He looks like a monster.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
Posture can do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. And I don't know, man. Trying to picture him getting that big, right? Because he's not that big. Of course, then again, you look at, I guess. So you take like Tom Hardy. He did it like because he played Patrick Stewart's
Yeah.
clone son in Nemesis, right?
Mhm.
Skinny little,
And then Bane.
and then Bane.
Yeah.
So I guess you can take a skinny guy and
Bronson.
Yeah.
pack it on, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, how many protein shakes you had to eat for that for that role?
Well, and how much of it was special effects added onto it?
True, but there were some shots that were like, okay, but is that him? Because I was arguing the bodysuit,
it-
but that's him.
It's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
I mean,
He's-
they color his veins and
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
which I think helps pop,
Yeah.
yeah.
muscle and stuff like that. But he's definitely he put on some muscle
Yeah.
for this role. And you can tell even
his
when
shoulders.
even when he's hunched down, you can see
The
definition
shoulders, yeah.
in his
Right.
biceps and his shoulders and stuff. So
Right.
he's-
Well, I'm sure that I mean more that like they're exaggerated when you go into he goes into beast form because you can
Yeah.
flex, but then you can also throw shadows into those
Yeah.
muscles to make them more striated and like
yeah. Well, and he very well could have. Whenever it's time to bring out the beast, you go and lift for a little
Sure.
bit to get.
Yeah.
And
to
you
get
do like
pumped.
what Hugh Jackman does is that you go on you don't drink any water for the whole day before the shoot, right? So
Oh.
you're a little hydrated a little bit there. That's what Hugh Jackman does, so the muscles, because everything
the
skin
kind of tightens
tightens
up.
up on you,
that's
and then you go
terrible.
pump out for the scenes.
Jeez.
Yeah, you see these muscled actors when they get in there, they go through a lot to look that good on camera.
Yeah.
But
So,
I don't know, man, it was worth it. It was
yeah. I
an
mean,
amazing performance. All in all, good movie.
mhm.
We already rated it for you. Deserves far better than it's getting. Little conflicted about the ending. I think all of us had
Yeah.
Yeah.
the same issues. But a solid third part to the trilogy. Not as
Yeah.
good as the first two.
Yeah.
But not nearly as bad as the Happening or the Village.
critics or what critics are saying. Yeah,
What I would
it's-
say is by itself it's probably not great, but being part of a whole, like the whole trilogy, it's a
Right.
great movie.
What we said, part of what makes this movie good is the characters' connection, or the characters seeing these characters back together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I really love the fact he's working with his son, fighting crime with his son.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. That was so good.
that was awesome. Wow. Okay, there you have it, guys. Glass review. Tell us what you thought of the movie. But if you're a big fan of Shyamalan, you're a big fan of Unbreakable or Split. What do you think of Glass? What do you think of the ending? So leave comments down below. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And if you wanted to support us in the videos that we do here, how can they do that, Doug?
We got 3 links down below. One to our Teespring store where you can get cool Grizzled Geek merch. Got our Amazon affiliate link. Go shopping with that. We get a kickback from it. Or our Patreon, which we're working on revising and getting some extra stuff up there for you.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.